Okay, awesome. Well, we can get started. Thanks for everyone who's hopped on so far. Today we have Kim here, and she's going to speak to our group about using Facebook ads for your business.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I will get into my presentation. Now, this presentation um, normally takes 2 hours, so I'm shortening it to 15 minutes. So if there's questions or anything else, I do have a resource at the end that I have a video that someone can watch to watch the longer presentation. And let's see. So can you see my screen okay? Okay. So welcome to Facebook Ads 101. Let me just, so we are going to cover a little bit about this. Again, like I said, we're going to go pretty high level today just to understand, so you can have a basic understanding of when you should use Facebook ads, how you should target, and kind of the results that you might expect. We'll talk about your campaign objectives a little bit. The step-by-step creation, I'm actually going to just show you how to do a very basic one right through the Facebook platform. It's not going to be using Ads Manager, which is the next step, which we typically use just because we want to see the analytics a little bit more. But for most smaller businesses in the local area, using the way that we'll show you will work well. And then talking a little bit about what you would want to do to monitor and optimize your ads. A little bit about me. I launched Fresh Impact in 2014. I've helped over hundreds of businesses and individuals leverage social media. Either we specialize in organic, so that means we a lot of times will just use organic content on the Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or LinkedIn platforms. We have 6 team members, and in 2022, we launched a Get It Done Marketing Club, which is to help people who want to manage their own social media, but just need that little bit of extra support. So when we talk about Facebook ads, it's important to know the what and the why. Why would we want to advertise on Facebook or Meta? And really what we have found is they're a great cost-effective way to reach a vast amount of an engaged audience that can have high conversion rates. When you talk about Meta, they are Facebook ads, Instagram ads, WhatsApp, or Messenger. Again, why would we do the ads? The higher conversion rates, and it can be anything from just getting your brand out there. It could be an ad for an event. It could be ad for special promotions, or if you are trying to build an email list. Right now, we are currently doing some ads for a client that has really struggled getting people to apply for job. They're in a home care agency. They've tried the big guns. They've tried Kelloland. They've tried Indeed and didn't have any results. And right now, with just like $6 or $7 a day, they are getting the applications they need to go ahead and fill those employments. So Facebook ads do work when they're done well. The nicest thing is that you can turn the ad on and turn the ad off really quickly with just a button. So you know exactly how much money you're spending at the time that you are doing it. Less than 0.5% of your fans will actually see the updates on your page. And so that is a good thing. So say that you posted that you are having an open house this weekend and you just want people to see it, $25, $50, you're going to really get that out there, especially in our local areas. Now, a question I get asked often is, could we just boost the post? Yes, you can just boost it. Again, but I want you to think about, why are you boosting it and what do you intend to get and gain from the audience that you're boosting it to? Like, what is your objective and what do you want to do? Facebook or Meta is always going to say, do you want to boost this post, or this post is doing well? Well, unless you have an objective on why you're boosting it, you could just end up wasting a lot of money. So boosting is good. Boosting, if we think about it, is just like a quick way to get that post in front of your audience. One thing that I recommend anyone, whenever you are starting to do ads, is going into the ads manager and setting up your pixel. I have a resource available for you at the end of this that has an actual video that goes a little bit deeper into some of these things that we're talking about, that you can go ahead and sign up for and watch the video, and it'll show you how to it'll give you resources for setting up that pixel and explaining that pixel just a little bit more. For those that don't know, Facebook Pixel is a piece of code that we attach to your website, and that's pretty easy to do. And then that kind of tracks everybody that has gone to the website. The pixel only starts from the day we apply to the website. So that's why I like to make sure that the pixel is on before I run any ads. So then we could potentially do a retargeting ad, which would be really good is if you did even your boosted posts and you're getting people to your website, and say this fall you are having a trunk show and you want to really get the people that are interested in your product or you as an independent business, then we can do a retargeting ad and it will go to those people that have ever visited your website. So it's kind of really nice. Right now we're running an ad for a local company that is doing an event in June, and they've had really good traction. We've had the ad going for 3 days. They've had 160 clicks on the ad going to the website, but it's a higher ticket, so we're not having any conversions at this time, which we wouldn't expect. I mean, it's like a $700 ticket, so I wouldn't expect to get the conversions. But now next week, we're going to do a retargeting ad to those people that have visited the website and then offering them a discount code on that product or that trip. So that way they're already interested. They went to the website. Now they have an incentive to maybe take another look at it. So real quickly, the steps that you would use in building an ad is one, you're going to choose your objective. And an objective can be bringing awareness. It can be bringing traffic to the website. It could be an engagement. It can be leads where you would want to capture their email address. If you are an app developer, an app promotion, or you can do sales, or you can even do selling a product and keeping track of that conversion basis for that. So we had a gal that had created a planner, and her planners were $50 per sale. It cost $50. So we set up some ads to promote this planner. We knew that she needed to sell it could not cost more than $10 per sale to purchase for the sale of that planner for people to so that she would still make money. So we were able to track that really easily on Facebook ads and make those ads increase the budget to where we're actually at the end of the towards the middle to the end of the sale, it was only costing $1 per conversion. So she was blew her out of the water. She made a lot more money and the cost per conversion was a lot less, but you're able to track all of that when you're doing the Facebook ads. The next thing is to set up your Facebook ad budget. If you're doing locally, a lot will depend on what your ad is and about how big of the audience it is. Most of the time, if you're setting up an ad in South Dakota or Sioux Falls, you can get by with a $10 to $20 ad budget per day. And it kind of depends. The one client that we're using it for Facebook ad, their budget is $6 a day. So it kind of depends on your objective and how much audience you want to reach and how fast you want to get those results. You do want to make sure that you pick your audience. And this is probably one of the biggest things that I will see people make a little oops on is when they do their audience, their Facebook will automatically, a lot of times will default to like the United States. Well, we had an auto company that was trying to do the ads on their own, and we got called in for consulting because they weren't like converting and they were spending $50 a day. And they're like, we're getting calls from California and Florida and they're a local company. Well, here they hadn't understood that you have to target that audience to just like Sioux Falls or South Dakota and making sure that you are talking to the right audience. The other thing that I'll see people do is if they're doing an ad for Sioux Falls and they want someone like they're an author and they're trying to sell their book. So then they go Sioux Falls and I want to pick people that like to read and would, like Barnes and Nobles, and they target too narrow. Typically in Sioux Falls or South Dakota, our audience isn't big enough to really optimize the ads because Facebook ads are geared to work in the millions. And so having a less targeted audience can be more effective. So you would definitely want to target local area if you're trying to get local traffic to your website or local traffic to your brick and mortar, but you wouldn't necessarily want to go so deep that you're really excluding, because then your audience is going to be shown to too few people, and people will get ad fatigue, and it's just not going to do as well. So having a little bit broader audience if it's a smaller number to look at. And then Facebook gives us the option to decide where do we want to place ads. So do we want, sometimes the ads can show up in Marketplace. Well, if you're a high-end luxury designer, you wouldn't necessarily want your ad to be in Marketplace because that's not where your customers are. So you want to think about where your customers are and then choose that ad placement accordingly. Or the algorithm for Facebook and Meta is getting really well. Sometimes we even just let them decide where the ad placement is, and then we can base future decisions off when we're managing the analytics of that ad. And then setting up your ad, and I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes a quick, easy way to set up your ad. Again, we use Ads Manager. That's a little bit more advanced. If you take us up on that free offer, you will have a video in there, and that's going to go through the Ads Manager. I just did not have time today. There's no way we could do the Ads Manager justice if we tried to squeeze that in. And then you always want to make sure you place your order. Once you place your order for your Facebook ad, it'll go to Meta. They will review it, and then they will go ahead, and if they approve it or disapprove it, they'll tell you what you need to do to make changes of that order. Typically, depending on the season, it usually takes a couple hours, or if you've never ran an ad before, it may take up to 24 to 48 hours. And then you want to measure that ad again against the objective that you had. So you will look at things like how many people clicked on that ad. If you had 500 people click on the ad, but nobody purchased from you, then is it a landing page description, or what do we need to change to go ahead and try to get more, achieve your goal better? So basically, the things that we look at when we are measuring is the reach, like did we reach the audience that we wanted to and how many people? There is a frequency score. We want to make sure that we keep that under 4. So that would be something that we would look at. If it's over 4, we turn it off. That means the same person has seen your ad 4 times at least, and they would get ad fatigue, and they could potentially shut off your ads, report them, and then that would harm your overall ad. We don't want that. We can look at cost per results, especially if you're trying to sell a product, impressions, how many people have actually seen the ad, cost per impressions, and then your click-through rate. So what your click-through rate means is just kind of like a general overall, how is your audience that you're targeting perceiving your ad? And we always want it to be greater than 0.5. If we're in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, we're really happy. And again, Facebook offers a tab that you can click, and you can actually monitor the ROAS, is the return on your ad spend. We have a planner worksheet. This is what I recommend for everyone to start with, and that way kind of just helps you formulate exactly what you want to do. What is your objective? You can put in your headline, copy, and then your creative. And your creative would be either a video or a still image. And then anything else, if you're sending them to a landing page, and then you want to make sure your pixel is in place. And then here's just kind of an example of how we would do this, how we do that when we're working with people, is that we set that budget, we put the dates. This is just a really good habit to get into, because then you can track it a little bit better, like, oh yeah, this is what we did, and this worked really well. When you write ad copy, you want to make sure that you have people that are attracted to it. So we have some different formulas you can use, which is like, we want to grab their attention, hold their interest, or tell them what the advantage of, and then we want them to do something with it. We want them to click to the website. We want them to learn more. We want them to download something. Some keys are using simple language, using quality keywords, and appealing to people's emotions is really important. We did an ad for a nonprofit, and we actually did a test where we were testing 2 creatives, and one was people having coffee and they were enjoying each other, and the other one was just a notebook with a pencil, because we were trying to promote grant writing. And when we sent the people, when they were testing audiences, we wanted a cold audience that knew nothing about this nonprofit. And we also tested a warm audience of people that had visited their website, were on their email list. And the people that was the warm audience, they liked the picture of the notebook by 80% better. That was what the results showed us. The cold audience liked the coffee people better. And so that is when you are creating the ad copy and the ad images and testing, you can do that and you can see really what resonates best with your audience. And again, the ad creative, you want something that's going to help people stop that scroll. So you don't want a boring ad creative. You want either an image that like, oh, that's really cool. People are going to stop and want to read that copy, or a video also will work well. We want to keep in mind, compliance is always a big thing. So whenever you do an ad, we cannot promise anything. So if you were a financial advisor, you can't say you'll make this much money. Or if you are a weight loss coach, you can't say you'll lose 10 pounds if you follow our program, because Facebook is going to click that out real quick. There is also special advanced ad categories. And if you are a realtor, you would want to make sure that you clicked that if you're into finances, and they have it pretty explicit when you look at the ads themselves. Before we go to questions, I'm going to hop out of here and hop on to Facebook. And you need to be in your business page to create ads. And this is just the quick and short way to do ads, especially if you're just doing one-off ads to promote an event or a certain product. If you're doing ads and that's going to be part of your marketing campaign, then I really suggest you watching the other video, learning how to set up Ads Manager. And so basically here, you can either go to Ad Center or you can create ads. And then you just follow the instructions here on what you would like to do. So Facebook automatically is going to put in something automatic. I want to change my goal. I want to have a little bit more control. So let's just say that I want to get more calls. So then I click on that, and then Facebook is going to, they're trying to make it simpler. So they're going to do the ad creative. So they said, we offer done for you social media group management. Now, would I use this? No, I'm just using this for demonstration. So here would be my description. And then here is the image that they picked. Well, I don't want that picture. So I'm going to pull this and I want to use this picture here. They're going to let you change the picture if you want, the copy, and then your headline. You want to do something that's going to attract people. So I'm just going to say, get your free content planner. And a call now would not, now see, they only gave me 25 characters. When you do your ad through the Ads Manager, you get more. So now get isn't going to work. So I'm going to just set free content planner. And then call now would never make sense for this, but the download, it would say download or whatever, you would have to change that. And then you would do your click to the website. And here is that special ad category that you would want to do. If you have anything with credit, employment, housing, or social issues, elections, or politics. And now here's where I would change my audience details. So say that I only work with people that are 40 and up. And then my location, I want to just use Sioux Falls. Then I would just put my location in here. And then it will say 25 miles. And so if I want to go more to 50, then I would do that. And then it says that my estimated audience is 146,000. So I'm going to save it. I'm not going to target any lower than that. So for me, I would be targeting small businesses. I'm not going to do that if I'm targeting just the local, but if I was giving away this content planner, then I would do United States, and I would do small business owners, and I would narrow it down so my audience wasn't quite so big. So kind of depends on what you're trying to sell. People you choose through targeting, people who follow your profile. So you can just kind of follow along here. And here my daily budget is $5 a day. It's going to run for 7. I could change that to 10 if I wanted. And then they recommend that they are going to actually change my placements. If I don't want to, if I click that, I can do manual placements, and then it shows that it's automatically going to go to Facebook. I don't want it to go to Messenger, so then I would just check that. And then I want to make sure that it is going to my pixel, especially if there's more than one ad account that you're associated with. You can change ad accounts here. and making sure that I've accidentally done it to the wrong ad account. So that's one thing you'd want to do. You can see that when I changed something, when I changed where I wanted it to go, it changed my ad day. So you might need to go back up here and just make sure. And then making sure that you have your ad, like your credit card or whatever involved with your ad. And then you would hit publish and then that ad would go. Once you publish the ad, no, it's not going to let me go back. You will be able to go into your ad center again, and you should be able to see whatever ads that you have going on. One thing here that I'd like to show you too is that you're able to see if your competitors are running any ads. So, trying to think if I know of, well, let me just go into my, and this is kind of nice if you know of, so Jane Seymour is running ads, and the way that I can find out is if I go here to the about, I go to the page transparency. This page is currently running ads. I can see all, and then I can go to their ad library. And then I can see how many ads they're running and what kind of creatives they're using and what kind of copy. So if you ever run stuck, this is a great way for one, to see what your competitors are doing if they're running ads. And two, you can see kind of like, oh, what is she doing? So she's got her pictures in all of them. And she's got like the scarf. So that would be appropriate. She's selling a scarf. So that's just a little ad tidbit. Part of the presentation is I like to give you resources that you can go ahead and create your own ads. So there is a link that I can put in the chat box if you want, that will take you to this comprehensive ad toolkit that's got all the different resources. It's got some planners and stuff, and you can get it at zero cost if you use the code FLOWER, all capital letters. And that is a quick run through with ads. So does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Kim. If you can put it in, oh yeah, awesome. And I'll send this out to the group afterwards.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have any suggestions for flower growers like us of types of ads or things or whatever that you think would be a good idea to do or use, like something really specific?
Yeah, depends on if you are, so what kind, can you give me just a quick synopsis of what kind of flower farming you're doing?
We do a lot of U-Pick events at our farm, so that would probably be the primary thing that we do, and then some other special events.
Okay, so if you're trying to drive traffic and you want people to come to your event, I would create an event on Facebook and they offer it right there where you can boost that.
Yep, and I've done that before.
And have you had any success on that or?
Yes, I haven't, I mean, I've looked to see how many people have viewed it and that kind of thing or whatever, but I have done that a decent amount. So, I guess maybe I should rephrase my question. What are some other things that I could do, or how could I fine tune that? Or maybe I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Well, no, so the events are a great way. If you want to do it more, is if you have thinking of how, like, why would someone want to pick flowers? They want they either love flowers or they want to create memories or they want to decorate their house with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. So if you can tap in on that emotion that people want to feel by going to your place. So we'll take memories. So if you created a video of people picking flowers and child happy and a mom happy, grandma happy, the different, and did that as a reel, you could just create a normal, like normal awareness ad and just letting people know who you are, because it takes them like 20 times to see you before they will remember your name. And so just doing that, you could either do a boosted post, or you could do, if you have an active, if your website is active and stuff, you could do a click to website ad. And I would do that through Ads Manager, using that video and then having people go to your website so they can learn more about you.
Okay.
So that would be one. The other one, do you send out an email to your customers or anything at all?
No, and I should do that. It's just one of the things that I just don't have time to do.
Well,
But yeah, I
like,
know that would be good.
right. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's just more time. It's busy work. So,
Yep.
but if it's something that say that you want to, for one, email is a great way to get in front of your clients in a customers in a way that's non-threatening, because what do we do when we wake up? We open up our email. And so you're in front of them. So if you have an objective, and especially if you're running events and you want to stay top of mind, email would be good. So if that's what you say, that Q3, I'm going to grow my email list. This is what I want to do. So then if you could create a fun little, like just a 1-page document, like how to take care of your fresh cut flowers after you pick them, and then have people sign up for your email list, you would create that through the website. Then we can send ads to people like, hey, do you want to know how to take care of your cut flowers? Or you could do the 10 best flowers to grow in South Dakota, or something like that, giving them something of value, and then they can sign up for your email list, and you can do an ad promoting that freebie to get people on your email list. Well, then you can send in your emails, this is what we have going on this week, or this is the flowers that are blooming this week. If you love sunflowers, you need to come these, August 15th to August 30th, so that you're promoting. And if you're thinking of doing emails, trying not to overthink it, the simpler, the better. I send out a marketing tip every Monday, and it is literally 2 sentences. And that is all I send out. And that has done really well for us. It's got like a 45% open rate, just because it's quick and easy and people don't have to think. Like I'm not making it super complicated. So if you decide that, hey, I'd like to do emails, that would be a quick way. Like, this is what's happening at our flower place now. And making it super simple. So those would be some different ads that would be, that I would consider running.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Did that answer the question, or?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions at all, or?
Hi, Kim. This is Christine Lang with SDSU Extension, and this is definitely out of my wheelhouse. Now, you had talked about some ways to check like who else is running ads that might be similar to you. What would be your advice or your thoughts? And I don't know that this is fully fleshed out, but like the people in this group are all trying to promote local flowers and aren't necessarily the competition, so to speak, whereas like Hy-Vee Floral is the competition,
Right.
or Walmart selling flowers, to just pick on like the big box stores, So how can each of the people in this group tell a unique marketing story on Facebook for their brand, and really elevate like what they're doing for local cut flowers in South Dakota in a way that's thoughtful and intentional, and kind of all boats rise?
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to address 2 things. One, the competition, that you guys maybe aren't necessarily your competition, but if you look at some of the bigger flower farms that aren't even local. So say that I'm thinking of like Floret Farms in Oregon. So thinking about the bigger ones and looking at what they're running for ads might inspire you to know what you could run if you're going to run ads. So more of an inspiration is what I would use the competitor ads for. As far as how you can uniquely stand out in a marketing world, because Facebook is noisy, is people want to see you. They want to know, are you organic? What makes you different? How big are the bouquets? what sets you apart. They want to know your family. They want to know your history. So anytime that you can share more about what you do individually and why they would want to come see you, they want to know your knowledge. They want to know, if I come to your flower farm and I pick something, and if I have a question saying, hey, I've always tried to grow pansies, but the rabbits eat them. Are you going to share your knowledge with me, or are you going to say, no, you only have to buy my flowers type thing? So your approach and the way that you show up and providing value is like the biggest thing, that building that connection. If you're on, how many are on Instagram? Are you guys all on Instagram also? Or just Facebook?
Both.
Okay. So Instagram is really great if your target market is 20 to 45-year-old females, and Instagram provides a lot of great opportunity because it's got pretty pictures and flowers are pretty. But Instagram also has the ability for where you can really connect with your ideal customer in a way that Facebook isn't always the easiest for. So if someone comments, you can, of course, if they say, oh, this is a gorgeous bouquet, you would respond back and say, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then you could go to their feed and see what pictures they have or what they're sharing, and you could leave a comment on their feed. You're building that relationship. You're showing them that you're taking interest in what they're doing, and they're going to be more interested in you. So that's one way, is that engagement piece on Instagram. Facebook, you can engage with other companies, but it's really hard to engage with other individuals with the business page. But showing up, doing quick little, like I have the hardest time doing videos. I tell everybody to do them, but I'm not that good about doing them. But I did a video of myself walking out of the orthopedic office because after my last checkup on my knee replacement, that was by far the best video and the highest reach ever. All I did was said, finally walking out, who wants to dance? It was really simple. I thought it was really stupid, but that is what got the most engagement. So thinking, even if you're out, working in the flowers and you see a bunny peeking his head out, taking a picture of that. That's what they want to see, that everyday life and what makes you unique.
I have a question about Reels. Well, I guess it could maybe apply to other things too, but so I make quite a few Reels for my Instagram page. I also post them over onto Facebook. And yesterday I had posted a reel, and then I got a notification on Instagram saying your reel would reach a better audience if it were 30 seconds or longer, which is going against what it used to be. 8 seconds or less would be, more the ideal. Is there a good resource or a place that I can go to kind of get updates on what the algorithm is doing?
There's
Do you
a
have any
couple,
suggestions on that?
there's a couple people to follow that are Instagram experts, like that would know. I can give you a name, like Brock Johnson is one that he stays really up to date. And he did say Instagram was changing. And that's the thing, is that today reels over 30 seconds will do good. And then tomorrow reels under 10 seconds will do good. So
Right, exactly.
yeah. The benefit of reels, in case people don't know, is that that's going to get you in front of a newer audience, where when you're posting on your feed, that's going to tend to be just more of the people that are following you. And so that's the best benefit for reels. So good for you for doing reels. Have you had good success with them?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I just like taking pictures and doing video of things that I think are pretty. So, and it makes sense to share it from my farm page, but few reels that have gotten, I think my most popular one is close to 500,000 views, which I'm like, come on, get up there. I just want to hit 500,000, but not all my reels are like that. A lot of them are, I'd say like 4,000 or 5,000, something like that views, but
And that is awesome, especially for the local area.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that if I would do more reels that would actually show me doing something or talking about what I'm doing in them, I know that if it was more of a DIY type of reel, that it probably would help, but I don't always want to be like in front of the camera doing that.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. And you don't always have to be. If it's something that you're like, okay, this is going to really help me market my business, then
Mhm.
challenging yourself to do maybe one DIY video every week or every other week
Right.
will just help you keep that on the forefront, or see if there's someone, someone else that will be like, hey, I don't mind being videoing, and seeing if and they could be your partner in doing that.
Right. Yep. Good idea. I'm going to recruit Christine to do that. She's going to be my partner. Oh.
Yes, and anytime, one thing to that we saw successful is if you ever collaborate, or say there's my sister-in-law runs a greenhouse and she gets a lot of her soil from like Testman's or her containers, and I'm not for sure if Testman's even has an Instagram or Facebook page, but say that they did, then tagging them, or say that you get your seeds from one of these specialty places that are on Instagram, then tagging them, then that's going to expand your reach and to a bigger audience. And while you're selling to the local audience, it still builds your expertise and it makes you look more of a professional.
Mhm.
For those that aren't, showing up consistent is like one of the key things, whether you're just using Facebook or Instagram. Another thing for you guys is making sure that you have a Google business profile. That's really important for the local communities. And then that you're posting to the Google business profile once or twice a week. There's a spot where you can do updates. I would do that. Unfortunately, they don't take videos, but you could easily snap a picture of the tulips that are blooming right now and just saying, this was what's going on. And especially if you have events, I would make sure that you post to the Google business profile and do the updates on that.
What are your thoughts on Threads?
I really don't have any clients on Threads. Some people like it, but some in the industry are saying that it's kind of like a dying, like it came, went, and it's gone. And so I think if you're doing Threads and it's working for you, use it. If you're not doing Threads and you're having a challenge keeping up with marketing, I wouldn't worry about it. So again, you want to think about, where is your audience? Is your audience using Threads? If they're using Threads, then yes, it makes sense. But if not, then it's could be easily one more thing to sidetrack you.
Clarifying question. What is Threads?
I have not used it. I didn't sign up because I had heard that if you signed up and you wanted to cancel, then I would lose my Instagram account, and it scared me. So I never signed up to do Threads. So,
Threads is like the Twitter version on Instagram,
yeah.
or formerly known as Twitter. I just posted a video today for the first time on Threads because I just thought, okay, I'm gonna just post something on there. It's pretty easy to use. It's basically just like attached to Instagram. And so you can just use it like that. But I have a lot of people who have followed me on Threads, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna pop over there and see how many followers I have. And I was like, oh, got some followers here.
Right.
So, yeah, but it is like another place that you have to go, but it's pretty easy. It's the little icon for it is right at the top of your Instagram page, like your profile page. And so you basically can just click on that and then do whatever, but it looks like Twitter is what it looks like. So, yeah.
Well, good for you for trying it. Yeah, none of my clients are on it. And so it's like, well, until it gets, there's just a lot of mixed feelings on it in the industry. And so it's like, well, until I can see the value for the clients, but it doesn't hurt if you're there anyway to post, especially
Yeah.
if you have followers on it and
Right.
and if they're
Well,
using it.
yeah, it's another way to network too. I think if there are people who are more, they use all of the avenues of social media, and they're smart at what they do. They're like, oh, this is just another place that I can quick pop over and just repost this on here. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's a good thing. But I just haven't done a lot of it. So I was just curious what your thoughts were about it.
Well, thanks for asking. Any other questions at all?
I have another one, but I don't want to hog the whole thing if more of the farmers have questions. But Kim, what's your advice for folks? I'm thinking of this more from my extension perspective, but for folks in the audience who are like, I'm actually not on Instagram yet, or I haven't started a business page, or like, what's a good way to like start building content? Like, is it just start telling your story and posting the stuff and filling it up? Or is it like, these are the first 5 posts you should do to build your page?
I always think an intro post is good, like introduce who you are. And then I recommend that even if you've had a page for 15 years, to introduce yourself every 3 or 4 months, because people don't, you have your new followers all the time, so they don't always know what you're doing. So introducing who you are, what you do, and then what sets you apart from other people, or if you're having any of the events, making sure that you created the events page. And then if you do have a page, so we usually recommend setting up, like Facebook is like the yellow pages used to be, is like people are going to go there to check you out, especially locally, and that you have a consistent schedule. So I would rather see that you're posting consistently 2 times a week than posting 7 days and then not posting again for a month. The reason is, especially now since COVID, is that people will go and say that they've heard about Flourish Flower Farm. Okay, I've heard about it, but I'm not for sure what they are. I'm going to go to their Facebook page, and I haven't seen you post yet this season. I'm going to wonder if you're still in business, is what the biggest thing is. And so posting consistently, just like the email marketing, I am in the online space. Everybody says you need to have emails. But for me, I could never get the emails. It was just like one more thing on my to-do list, and it always was at the bottom. And so that's why it's like, okay, I'm just going to send out one tip once a month, once a week, and that's my consistency. And so picking, like, if you can only post once a week, give yourself permission to post once a week. Once you do once a week, it gets a little easier. Then you can add that twice a week. If you're on just Facebook and you're like, I cannot do another platform, don't worry about it. Just show up on Facebook then. But if, again, depends on what you want to use the social platforms for. So if you're like, I need to get my business in front of a new audience, then that's when you look at the Instagram or the Google business profile, because that's going to help you show up when people are searching for flower farms in Sioux Falls. And then using those keywords. So, Flourish, are you in Brandon? No, where?
No, I'm north of
South.
Elk Point. Elk Point is my address.
Yes, okay, because I've actually checked you out because I love flowers, and it's like I've had you on my list of places to go. So then you would do making sure that when you're writing your post, your caption, your Google business profile update is putting your name. Flourish Flower Farms is located north of Elkton, South Dakota, or your southeast flower farm, southeast South Dakota. So things that people might search for, you want to include in your copy if you're able to. You don't want it to sound robotish or spamish, but anytime you can say, or your flower farmer for southeast South Dakota, or your flower farmer for Sioux Falls area. So that has that, if people are searching in Google, I want to go to a flower farm near Flower Farm Sioux Falls, that you have that potential to show up, even though you're not in Sioux Falls, you're close enough that people would want to drive. If that makes sense.
This is Jody. I was wondering about, are there different keywords you could target for online only based business? Is that a whole different deal when you're not really wanting people to come to your location, or you don't have an event, but you're trying to direct them to your website?
Then I would make sure that you include your website and direct people there at any times. Now, Facebook doesn't always like it when you include that URL to your website in the copy. They will sometimes, if you don't have a real active page, they sometimes won't show your stuff as well. But I would just say, visit our website to know more. Or, so can you explain a little bit more? How does your business work then?
I haven't started yet.
Okay. So how
But
do you envision it to work?
I envision it to work by getting people to go to the website, buying and selling through adding to a cart, that kind of a thing. The whole transaction would be completed through a website such as Square. Um, and then probably the email component would be really important for me, and Facebook is kind of what I'm primarily looking at. But I'm a good several years out probably before my inventory gets built up. So a lot of things could change between now and then. But another question I had was, and I had posted this earlier to the group, is I was trying to build a Facebook page, but keep it hidden so that I could start working on it. But I could not find anywhere that you can hide or not make your page public. Like it went public right away. I didn't know if Facebook has changed that. I think in the past that you could do that with pages, but maybe not with, or maybe with groups, but not with business pages. It's very confusing. It's kind of hard to know how to get started if you want to do something, but you don't want it to be public yet.
Right. There used to be a way that you could work on a page. And have it hidden, not published. I will, if you want to message me,
Yeah,
can
I
do a little bit-
will. I will.
Yep, I can do a
Because
little bit of research to just see, I'm not for sure exactly where it is at now, because they change everything daily.
yeah,
And
it's really frustrating. And I thought maybe once I finally got started into it, then I could keep track of where to go. But it's been so long since I've done anything like that. I have looked everywhere, Googled, and I'm just not finding anything. And if they took the function away, that's okay. I just need to have a clearer plan if my page is going to go public right away without actually being in business.
right. I will do some research, and if you want to just message out, and I'll see if I can help answer that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes. And when you sell online, then how are they getting their deliverables? Are you mailing them to them? Is it they're picking them up, you're delivering?
It would probably be local delivery only to
Okay.
just our small community, and then it would be postal mail out or UPS, or they would choose how they want it to be shipped, kind of a
Okay.
thing. Yeah, it would be like a mail order inventory base, I guess, if you
Okay.
will.
And so some of the things that like for post and content for you would be, one is the products themselves. And then two is say that you're sending fresh flowers to somebody. Like those FAQs, anything that someone might ask a question like, how are the flowers going to be coming to me? What do I do? So say that you are mailing flowers. What do I do? Do I, I hear that I put 7-Up in the water to keep them fresher. Is that true or not? What do I do to, how often do I need to cut the stems to keep my bouquet looking fresh? Those kind of things that people would be asking, those make great posts. Other posts would be testimonials. If anybody has used the flowers, had the flowers or whatever, testimonials are great. And you can go into Canva and create those really simple. And sharing those, that word of mouth from somebody else is always a great idea. And even if one thing for testimonials, if someone texts you and say, oh my goodness, I got your tulips last week. I absolutely love them. They make my kitchen counter look so happy. You can just say, hey, could I use those for a testimonial, and take that word and then just use their initials. And that would be a great way to showcase. Again,
Okay,
you want to
thank you.
you want to think about the people are so busy, like you guys, like we're all busy. We're working on our business. We're going the flowers, but then how can we make it simple for our customer to purchase from us? And we can't oversimplify it. Like go to my website can be said so that people have a call to action. If you're doing reels and you're posting on any of the posts, what do you want people to do with that? And is there a call to action you can give them? Can you send them to the website? You could even on Instagram say, would you love this? Like, what's your favorite tulip color? DM me your favorite tulip color. And then that is encouraging engagement, and then you're building that relationship. So then when they need to buy tulips, you're going to be top of mind, and that would be the goal. So did that help at all, or?
Yes, and my situation is a little bit different. So I'm getting into iris farming. So I would actually be
Ooh,
sending bare root plants that are not really dormant, but that uh, they ship after they've bloomed. So it wouldn't be fresh flowers. But yes, there's a lot of notes that I've taken on how to target the audience, kind of inform them, the care sheets, those kind of things need to come into play for my business, which is a little bit than
Right.
other people. But yes, it does make sense. And I'm taking a lot of notes here. So you're giving good feedback. Thank you.
So irises, my mother-in-law loved irises. So one, you've got a beautiful flower to go ahead and show images, but you could do a tip Tuesday. How deep do you plant them? My irises never bloomed this year. What do I have to fertilize the ground? What kind of soil do I? So all of those could be individual posts. And you could even, before you get started, or even when it's not your busy season, is write 12 tips. And then you could set them recycle in every 12 weeks, that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, because people aren't always going to see that. You could do even, we have some cycles that we do every 8, depending on the audience size, every 8 weeks, we recycle the different things. You could even have a Monday inspiration where you just have a picture of an iris in the background and a fun Monday motivation quote, like find me in the garden, whatever, to what your audience. And then as you continue to grow, figuring out how you can collaborate with other people in your industry, and feed off of each other's audiences. That would be an important marketing strategy.
Thank you.
Yes, good luck. I'll be watching for you. Any other questions?
Thank you so much, Kim. This was really helpful information. If it's okay, I'll share your contact information and then that link that you put in the chat with the group after this.
Perfect.
Um,
Yes, if you have any questions, just reach out and I'd be happy to answer them the best I can. A lot of times I'll just do a quick little video and say, this is what I think, this is what I'll do. So ask away, and I hope you all have a very good growing season.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.